Good afternoon. Happy Thursday. Hope you're having a great day. Today in class, we're going to be focusing on finishing up our essay and adding in those specific details and commentary and figurative language that makes your writing great. So today is September the 10th. I am doing tutoring after school today. So come visit. You can click on the link. I'll show that in a minute. But for today, we will read a sample essay focusing on commentary and figurative language and details, and use that to help us finish our essays. I will read, think, and revise my essay with specific details, figurative language, and commentary. And our closing thought is, look at this quote. What does this quote mean to you? Some things have to be believed to be seen. And that's by Ralph Hodgson. All right, and let's go ahead and do our affirmations. It's so important. A big part of why some of us are struggling, I really believe, is because we don't believe it. We don't believe that we can do it, so then we don't even try. I can't, is what people say. And then sure enough, they make it come true. So let's be positive on purpose. Let me hear you. Say it in your head, say it out loud. What are you? I'm smart, confident, and successful. How do you feel about writing? I love writing. It's so much fun. And how do you feel about revising? It's so cool. I love making my writing better. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate it. So let's get to Schoology. Here's where our work is. And here's the link. If you ever want to come to my tutoring after school Tuesdays and Thursdays, I'll be available from 4:40 to 5:30. Click on that and join my meeting. I'd love to visit with you about your essay or any other issues you're having with this class. So here's our work for this week, September 8th. Today is Thursday, Thursday's work. And discussion question is that quote that I mentioned there. What does some things have to be believed to be seen? Click on that. If you didn't make it to class today, you can click on that, put your answer in, and that will count as your attendance. We're also going to have our sample essay we're going to read and our essay checklist so that we finish strong. So let's look at the essay checklist. And yeah, it's called Finish Strong. And I want to be sure that we're pushing ourselves to do that. It doesn't just happen. You just don't get a good grade on an essay just because you scribbled something, right? We have to do it on purpose. So questions I want you to answer for yourself. Do you have a willingness to do your best, even if you're not sure you're doing it right? That's what it comes down to. I think that's what stopped a lot of us from not being done already or for barely starting because we don't believe in ourselves. So we have to keep going anyway. Okay, maybe I'm not sure if I'm doing it right, but I'm going to take my best shot. I'm going to go for it. And that's what I want everybody to do. What's going to help you with that? Right, make the time to say those affirmations. Read them to yourself. I love writing. I love being successful. I love getting my work done. For your essay, it should be at least 400 words. And of course, to do that, you highlight your writing, go to Tools, Word Count, and it'll tell you how many you have right here. If you do that for yourself and it's not enough, how do you get enough? Well, you have to be sure that you're focused the keywords in your thesis, and that kind of gives you an idea of what to write and how to write it. If you're saying that being American means that you're happy and you work hard, then that's what you want to show in your body paragraph, and be sure you have that for yourself. Be sure you're writing about a specific time or a specific facts related to your immediate topic, and tell it like a story. If you're telling a story, you're giving us the details that make a difference. You also want to have a description of at least one person, at least 2 uses of figurative language, and we talked about that yesterday. You can see yesterday's video if you want more info on that. And then commentary and specific details. If you have all those things, you have a very good chance of getting a great grade on this. But let's look at my example essay. This is Billy G. tax essay. And if you remember, tax was the test that everybody had to take before we switched to STAR. And Billy G was one of my favorite kids from back then. This was from about 12 years ago, 13 years ago. Billy was a senior and he needed to pass tax to graduate. He'd already taken it 3 or 4 times and he wasn't doing well. And he was really worried because you know what? He would tell me, Mr. Carvajal, I just can't spell. Mr. Carvajal, I'm no good at punctuation. I just feel stupid. And he would get real negative, and I would have to stop him and say, come on, Billy, you can do it. And he was ready to give up. And eventually I told him, I said, Billy, you're hilarious. In class, you crack me up, you crack the whole class up, you tell these great stories of all the funny things you've done and the places you've been. And I want you to write the way you talk. Write the way you talk. Just tell a story. Yeah, but my spelling's no good. I was like, who cares? Don't worry about the spelling. Tell the story. Have fun writing. Just let yourself write and don't worry about the spelling or punctuation. And that's what he did. And after he found out the results, Billy comes running, basically almost tackles me and tells me, Mr. Carvajal, I passed, I can graduate. Well, he did it. And you can too. If you've always struggled with writing, hey, it's time to let that go and just do your best. So let's read over this together. The writing topic from that tax test was, what does it mean to be a hero? By Billy G. I believe anyone can be a hero. You just have to do what's right when the time comes. That's how I got my nickname, Hercules. It's what my family started calling me after I told them what happened to me and my cousin Jeff and how close we came to dying. It all started at my house, a big cozy house full of kids that are yelling, running all over the place, making a big mess. It was me, my mom, grandmother, my brothers Joe, Jim, Jason, and my sister Linda, my cousins John and Jeff, and last but not least, my Uncle Bob. It was just too many people for a 3-bedroom house. And what sucked was I was the oldest. I had to take care of the kids almost all the time. It got crazy sometimes. So what I would do to get away from it all was leave and go to the park all by myself. One day when it got too crazy and I left, it was cold, really cold, about 18 below zero. I remember my eyelashes froze together. I felt even my nose hair freeze, and it was hard to breathe because it was so cold. Now, I didn't tell you this, but Billy was actually from Michigan, from Detroit, and he grew up in those kind of temperatures. He came here when he was already like 12 or 14. So this was a big deal, and I love those details. All right, let's continue on. There was a tree I would climb and just sit and cool down. The tree branches hung over the little river that ran through the park. Well, while I was sitting on the top of the tree, feeling the cold breeze cool my heated face, I heard something. It was a boy. My little cousin Jeff had followed me. He was trying to climb the tree. I yelled at him, "Go home!" But he still tried to climb. Out of nowhere, my heartbeat jumped. I just realized he's in danger. I yelled, "Jeff, don't move!" Then I heard it crack, and boom, the branch broke, and my little cousin Jeff went crashing into the frozen river, and smash, he went straight through the ice. My legs shot me off the tree and straight into the river. When I hit the water, I felt extreme cold. It felt as if all my air was sucked right out of me, and I just got stabbed by a million needles. Then my body went numb. When I looked, all I could see was a big blur tumbling down the river. I shot myself out to the blur and grabbed it. The whole time I could feel nothing, not the water, not the cold. It was like I was in some outer space vortex. My vision was going black right when I grabbed that blur, which I was hoping was my cousin. I kicked the floor and blasted myself and whatever I had a hold of straight through the ice. Then it hit me. It felt like I was going to pass out. I threw the screaming thing on the ice. I couldn't really hear or see or feel. Slowly, I felt my vision coming back to me. I see my cousin lying on the ice. I grabbed him, picked him up, and started home. I felt like I had frostbite on my hands and feet. I carried him through the snow and heavy wind to my house, kicked the door open, and fell straight into the house where I felt my body slowly warm from the outside in. It felt so good to be in this warm, cozy house next to the fire and feel the flames glow their warmth on me. That was how I got my nickname, Hercules. I got heroic and became someone's hero because I did what's right when the time came. If you're ever in that position, step up and be the hero you really are. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that essay. I hope you were imagining it and you were picturing all the great details that Billy had, from even here at the bottom, right? The fire, the feel the flames glow their warmth on me. And look at the similes he used. I was like in some outer space vortex. My vision was going black. Details, details. Tumbling blur. All the air sucked out of me. It just got stabbed by a million needles. Look at the onomatopoeia, crack and boom. All those things he did, the details of the cold, right? Make his writing so visual, so easy to imagine. And it makes you feel like you're right there with him, right? And you're rooting for him because of the way he set it up. So maybe you don't have a story that's that exciting to tell, but I'm sure you do have a story to tell. And you want to be sure that you give us all the details so that your reader knows and feels like they're there with you, so that it's fun to read. So once again, go into Schoology and you can open up your own copy of this essay and look it over closely for yourself. Open up your own essay checklist and make sure you have what you're supposed to have. And then answer this quote. Some things have to be believed to be seen. Because you know what? If you think you can't do it, you can make yourself right. Nah, I'm not smart. I couldn't get an A. Well, you keep telling yourself that enough, and sure enough, you'll make yourself fail. But if you believe, I love being smart, I love being successful, I love writing and getting my work done, then you can see the results. So I want you to suffer and do what's right and do your best, even if you're not 100% sure. And then you will see the difference in the results. Trust me, I know what I'm talking about. All right, thank you so much for coming in. Be sure and get the work done, get your essay done, work on it. Remember, it's in Wednesday's work of last week, week of 831. Get it finished and message me if you need any help. Whether you come to class or not, you can always message me, send me an email, or message me through Remind. All righty, hope you have a great afternoon and take care. Bye-bye.